So, Bhagwat Joshi,
Yes,
we'd like to welcome you here today for this interview.
thank you.
And this opportunity to congratulate you on being selected for NET.
Thank you very much.
And you have worked with the ILC International Learning Centre here in Pithoragarh for the last 4 years.
Yes.
And we know you've worked very hard on clearing this exam. And we'd like to ask you, could you please give us some of your tips for how to crack NET?
Yeah, I would like to give you 5 specific points and tips which helped me to go through the exam and pass it successfully. Tip number 1 would be to go through the syllabus, because once you need to know what you need to study, then and only then you can plan ahead. And one challenge which aspirants might face here is that the syllabus of UGC NET JRF for English literature, it's very vague. We have got multiple sections and they are not even clarified. So if you go onto the official website, you might find the syllabus as 14th century literature, 15th century literature, and so on. So you see, it's not very limited. So one of the most important things would be to go through the syllabus, familiarize yourself with the syllabus and understand it very well. Step number 2 would be to get a good overview of the British literature, which is the most important section in order to pass the exam. What you can do is you can go to some books like The History of English Literature by William J. Long, by W.H. Hudson or David Daches. These books have helped me a lot in order to get an overview and understand the writers chronologically. Step number 3 would be not to miss out the important writers, be it British literature, American literature or even Indian literature. It's very important that you go through almost all the works of very important writers which were prominent in their ages, and then even if you need to, find some important works and do an in-depth study of those works, because you are not only asked questions related to the time or when the book was written or who wrote it, but also characters and dialogues, which are also very often. The 4th step in order to pass NET exam would be to go through the previous year papers. And here is one thing that you need to do here. You need to focus on literary terms, because there are many literary terms, and I have found it very helpful to go through the previous year papers and then do a study of literary terms. So make a list of the literary terms which have been asked before in the examinations and then study them. To study literary terms, there is a website called literaryterms.net which has been very helpful, and there is a book by M.H. Abrahams, Literary Terms. That book has been also very helpful. And at last, the final tip would be to pay some attention to the literary theories. It's not a very big section in the exam, but you have to have a very good idea of the literary theories and the people who started them or people who are pioneers in those theories. So if you do those 5 things, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to pass the NET exam.
So, Bhagwat, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for giving thanks for giving the viewers of this YouTube video your tips for how to crack NET. And we wish you the best of luck when you're going to continue and do your PhD. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.